But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
How are you?
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too.
Yes,
but if you're not happy, you can leave.
So KJ Smith from Sisters, and it's sad because I'll be watching Sisters every now and then. Then I got to stop watching Sisters. But she said, I guess she was on a red carpet or something. They asked her advice for blacks, and she told them basically move to another country because Trump is in office. She was trying to not say it, but I got the video. I got the proof. She said she told y'all to move to another country. My first question is, why don't she move to another country? It's funny how they're going to tell people you don't have to stay here in this horrible country under Trump, but they ain't left. None of the celebrities that keep talking about they're leaving the country has left the country. She's still here making millions of dollars, living good, probably in a mansion somewhere in California. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. But she tells black people to leave the country.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about a decades-old trend. Who knows? Maybe this trend goes back even further, in which you have leftists openly advocating for people to leave the United States of America over Trump's policies, because some people are struggling. They're having a hard time dealing with the fact that Trump is their president. So they are taking to the internet to break down in tears, right, over the fact that they want to leave the U.S. And in some cases, some people think that they can't because it's too expensive to leave the United States. Stay along.
I fucking hate America! I hate it here. I hate everything about this fucking country. And before any of you Oakley wearing rednecks come at me and be like, then fucking leave. I can't. It's expensive. There's rules. Just like there's rules to get into our country. There's rules to get into others. There's rules. I can't just fucking leave. And it's expensive. It's expensive to leave too. So unless you want to start, sending me your fucking Bush Light and Virginia Slims money and crowdsource me to get the out of here, I don't want to hear it.
I feel like this is going to sound insane to some people and not to others, depending on which side of TikTok this ends up on. How quickly do we need to get out of the country? Like, we have a plan. I mean, you can see my name on TikTok is moving to Italy. Like, we're going, but our plan is to go in September. And like, I fear that I have been spending, I know I look absolutely insane. I fear that I've been spending too much time scrolling the last couple days, and that is making my anxiety spiral out of control. But like, things are bad. Like, when the leaders of the European Union are holding an emergency meeting that we are specifically not invited to discuss the impact of Donald Trump on the rest of the world, that's bad, right? It's a rhetorical question. I know it's bad. Like, I definitely 100% know I need to get off the internet and go touch some grass today, but like, where is everybody else at? I know I have a lot of people on here who are also moving abroad. Is anyone like expediting their plans? What are people thinking?
I'm setting off the alarms. I don't even care. Go and get your visas. Plan right now. If you're not following international news channels, you need to start. I have friends in other countries, so that's why I was following them. Guys, Australia, they literally questioned him. They said, what do you think about AUKUS? It's the Australia-UK-US alliance. And Trump seemed like he didn't fucking know what they were talking about. He doesn't know anything. And he's already been in office once. Europe seems to be building an alliance, preparing to be against the US, as they should. And for some reason, the people that we have in office think it's funny to go and bully world leaders that are having their country torn to shreds. Go get your visas, because we don't know if we're going to be accepted anymore soon, to be completely blunt with you. Oh, and if you missed it, Norway just came out and said that they're not fueling any ships from the USA. So that's why all of this combined, that's why I'm sounding the alarms.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Okay, you have leftists and liberals losing their minds, freaking out, talking about how they're going to leave the United States of America. Okay, they're leaving. And My only response to them is, all right, well, see you later, right? Make sure you leave, okay? Don't let the door hit you on the way out. And just don't come back, right? Don't come back. In fact, you can go even further to show how much you don't like this country by renouncing your citizenship, okay? If you want to leave, go ahead and do it. I just advise that you also renounce your citizenship as well, just in case you make the wrong decision and decide to come back to this country, okay? Now, what we got to talk about in this video is an idea that is much older than leaving the country due to Trump, but the idea that black people should just leave the country, period, okay? And that is ramping up as well because, again, President Trump being in office, you have an actress by the name of KJ Smith, who I personally have never heard of, okay? Maybe I've seen her in one of some of these woke shows or something, even though I don't even watch TV, right? I don't watch TV, so yeah, I don't know who she is at all, okay? I don't have all of the shows and stuff like that. But anyways, this woman apparently is a black actress, and at the NAACP Awards, aka the DEI Awards, the Participation Trophy Awards, because Kamala Harris got an award and Joy Reid got an award before a show was canceled. But at the award ceremony on the carpet, this actress advocated for black people to leave the United States of America because of Trump. Take a look.
Something that you wish was talked about more within our community.
Understanding our roots, I think it's really important. I think we're not trapped here. With the political climate that's going on in the United States of America, we are not trapped here. There are places that we can go. There are countries that are receiving us back, citizenship back, and I think with open arms, and I think that it's time for the black community as a whole to start looking into those resources.
Yeah, so this woke black actress claimed that, hey, it's time for the black community to seriously consider leaving the United States of America. And then Fox News Digital reached out to her for a comment, and she sent in the following statement. She says, quote, "I want to emphasize that my intention is to inform and empower, not to spread fear. Many black Americans are exploring opportunities to reconnect with their ancestral roots and consider alternative living options," Smith said. Quote, "I believe that many more black Americans are recognizing that conditions in the United States are not improving for us. In fact, they seem to be deteriorating. It's time we consider alternatives, much like other communities have. The Blaxit movement encourages African Americans to explore opportunities abroad, particularly in African nations. Ghana, for instance, offers a right of abode policy allowing people of African descent to live and work indefinitely in the country. Similarly, Benin has introduced a law granting citizenship to descendants of enslaved Africans who can prove their ancestry." Smith explained further that these initiatives provide us with viable options to reconnect with our roots and seek environments where we are truly valued. Since 2020, Sierra Leone has offered citizenship to individuals of African descent who can trace their ancestry to the country, often verified through DNA testing. Smith added, she continued, organizations like the Exodus Alliance are facilitating these connections, aiming to assist 1 million African American families in relocating to Africa. Smith has starred in numerous Tyler Perry produced shows and movies, along with guest starring in a number of sitcoms such as It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Queen Sugar, and Black-ish. Okay, yeah, so this actress is advocating for black people to go back to Africa, right? This is what she's advocating. Now, before I get into my commentary on this, I find this to be fascinating because this comes as you had Trevor Noah and other woke revolutionaries discussing whether or not segregation or integration was a good thing.
I found myself wondering, and this applies to America, and then maybe it'll go to other places in a different way because Finland ties in. Do you think that integration was the right move? Like, and now I'm separating two things because I know in America people are like, well, of course, I mean, there was racism and there was segregation. And I go, yeah, no. I'm separating them. Let's separate someone being oppressed and someone not being able to get a job and someone not being able to get a bank loan. Let's take all of those, the negative things away, because I'll put myself out personally and say, I think whether we're talking about gifted kids who are anomalous, let's say, to the norm, whether we are talking about, and I mean anything that does not fit into a category, I think the part of the reason Finland is able to do it is because, have you been to Finland?
It's very homogeneous.
I've been to Finland. You know who's in Finland? Finnish people. That's it. And because they're all Finnish, there's an idea of like, no, we all head in the same direction. We all know what our actions mean. And that's a really powerful thing I've learned in communicating with other people. When I'm in a room with anyone where we start to tie together multiple things. So if I'm in a room with Black people, already there's like an implicit trust because we know what certain actions, words, and vibes mean. And then you're in a room with another African. Already. This person. Now, even if you shout at me, I know what your shout means. The same way an Italian knows what an Italian shout means. Yeah. Right? I know I'm prefacing it with a lot because it's a loaded question.
Yes.
But I would love to know if you think integration was the right solution, maybe, on the other side of, what America, of civil rights.
Yeah. No, I don't. And I don't think it's actually that controversial when, if you understand that segregation and integration weren't the only options. Like within those two options, it may seem like integration is the more progressive. Like, of course, we don't want segregation. But again, when you're being integrated into institutions, into a culture that's a supremacist culture, that's a culture that feeds off of hierarchy, that feeds off of insecurity, anxiety, why are we being integrated into that?
Right. If that's the way that you feel, right, if you feel as if Black people should move back to Africa or that integration was a bad thing and that a more homogeneous society is better for Black people, in which at very least you have everybody kind of looking the same in regards to skin color. I'm not sure if there's going to be a cultural match between Black Americans and Africans, and I think that some people are going to find it out the hard way. But regardless, if this is something that you want to do, then hey, it is what it is. I would rather you do it rather than to complain, okay? However, they're not going to do it. Especially this woke actress is not going to do it because she's rich, right? In Africa, she wouldn't be on some red carpet at some award ceremony and having all the opportunities that she has right now. That's why she's not going anywhere, right? In fact, Black people have been talking about going back to Africa for a long time now, okay? I mean, even when the whites were trying to push Black people to go back to Africa, like, for example, the American Colonization Society, which started in the early 1800s, basically white people said, listen, hey, you Black folks, I'm not sure if it's going to work out in the long run between us, okay? And we believe that for your freedom, specifically freed Black people, freed African Americans, hey, you can go back to Africa, okay? And they basically helped it happen. In fact, they went as far as to help establish Liberia, which was a colony in West Africa, and it was a settlement for freed African Americans, okay? The capital of Monrovia was named after President James Monroe. Okay, and thousands of Africans over time migrated there, but they faced a lot of hardships and resistance, okay, and challenges adapting to the new land, right? It turns out that colonialism is hard, okay? It's not something that Black people seem to be too good at, okay? Which is part of the reason why so many people are mad at the white man, is because the white man was actually good at it, okay? That's what they're really mad about, and that they couldn't do it. So, again, my point is that you've had these movements happen before, right? The Back to Africa movement. You had Marcus Garvey. Who knows? Maybe these people were on to something because decades and more than 100 years or so have passed since these movements have started, and you still have Black people complaining. You still boo-hoo, whine, and cry, even though as a Black person in the United States of America, you are more well off than any other Black person on earth. And it's not even close, right? I mean, Black people in America are living like kings and queens, right? Compared to how the people in Africa live for the most part, okay? And all of these people, they know this, right? They know this. In fact, in their mind, they actually love the white man. They love living in the white man's country. This is why they won't leave, okay? And the reason why they boo-hoo, whine, and cry about racism so much is because they're upset that the white man doesn't love them enough, because their other explanation just doesn't make sense, right? If the white man has his boot on your neck to the point where you feel like you have to leave, why do you expect the white man to love you, right? Why do you expect him to love you if you know that he doesn't love you? Then why are you still here? Okay, why are you still here? I don't get it. I don't understand it. But again, I do understand it because, again, they actually love the white man, right? This is why the white man is not allowed to segregate from Black people or to even have conversations about segregation, right? Could you imagine if white people had the same conversation that Trevor Noah and the other woke revolutionaries in that video were having, right? Where they said, well, I don't know if integration was a good thing, right? Who knows? Maybe homogeneous societies are better, in which, hey, I think there's an argument that, having a society that's more homogeneous has its pros and cons. But I'm just saying that if a white person was having that conversation, if a white person said, hey, it's too many blacks, too many Mexicans taking over the country, we got to go back to Europe, right? Could you imagine the outrage, right? The outrage. But see, in America, black people, we have the ability to say these things and to openly have these conversations that other people are not. But yet, you know, these same people claim that, hey, we're oppressed, right? We're oppressed. Okay, it's so bad. And again, the reality is that it's not, right? A lot of these people, again, this is low effort virtue signaling that, you know, it's getting old, right? I mean, really, seriously, like if you want to move, then just move, right? Don't announce it. Don't say anything. Just move. But they're not going to, because they know that America is the greatest country on earth for black people. And they know that moving to Africa would not be as good as living in America. But who knows, right? I'm just saying that if people are serious about moving to Africa, my advice is this, is that, you know, you get a big collective group of people, right? We'll call you colonizers, right? Get a big collective group of people, okay? You pool your money together and you save your money until all of you collectively have $500,000 to $1 million. And then you take that money and y'all go move all the way over to Africa, okay? You can go to Liberia, you can go to Ghana, you can go to any of these countries, right, that are taking in black Americans, okay? And collectively with your money, at least, you know, if you do the right thing, you're going to be pretty well off, right? To be honest with you, you're going to be in the upper middle class instantly, right? And if that's what you want, then I don't know, maybe that's what you should do. I'm just saying, I'm at the point now where I actually want to give people advice. If you're actually really trying to do it, if you're dead serious, if you really feel like the white man hates you so much and that Trump is so bad, okay, that you got to move, then pool your money together as a collective and then going over there to another country, okay? In fact, I would recommend if you go over there, you know, hey, since you built everything in America, it should be easy for you to build everything over there, right? To build up those countries, right? Because remember, these are people that told us that black people built everything in this country. So I'm just saying that with the dollar, you should take your dollar, okay, and go over there to these other countries and build them up the same way that you claim that you built in America. And let's see how that goes. Right? Let's see how that goes. I just wish that these woke revolutionaries who hate America so much because America's so racist would go to Africa and build it up, right? The same way they claim they built America, okay? And that goes for all the other woke revolutionaries too. If you feel like this country doesn't like you or it hates you because of your race, because of your sex, because of who you like to sleep with, or whether or not you like your genitalia, if you feel persecuted and all that under President Trump because he's not giving you special rights and privileges based off your race or whether or not you like your genitalia or your sexuality, then there are plenty of other countries you can consider moving to, right? In fact, I support it, right? I support these movements, okay? I support them 100%. I just wish they were actually about their life. I just wish they were actually about acting rather than virtue signaling, right? Go ahead and put in some action. Go ahead and put in that work, especially these Hollywood widows, right? Go ahead and do it. But again, there's no Hollyweird where they can make millions of dollars to fake virtue signal in Africa. And that's why they're not going anywhere. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.